All right, so we have signed a recruit. So now, how do we follow up with the recruit? If you are a team leader, you should have information at your fingertips or on your leader pages. I'm telling you some ideas of ways that you can follow up, some baseline emails, some information we want to share with those potential recruits, some important information you want to add them to the welcomes, that kind of stuff. If you're a team leader, that's something that you are probably already doing. But if you aren't a team leader and you've had somebody join your team and they are your first, your second, your third, your eighth recruit, whatever it is, they're a recruit on your team, you as their sponsor are more than welcome to follow up with them. It's not something that just your team leader has to do. Before I was a team leader, I was also following up with those on my team and those that I had sponsored. And I was following up with them often so that I could make sure that they didn't need anything. And if they did need something, I know them personally in some way, whether they've been a hostess of mine, whether they've come to me, or whether they're my friend, whether they're somebody that I've met and talked to at a booth. They are somebody that know me a little bit, so I want to make sure that I'm following up with them. I talked them into joining, or I was the one who told them about joining and convinced them to join, or helped them join no matter what it was. So I want to make sure that they know they can come to me. So that follow-up is, as soon as I see that I have a recruit on my team, somebody that I've sponsored, I am sending them an email or a message on Facebook saying, hey, I see that you joined. Thank you so much for joining my team. Can I help you with any questions? There's also a welcome for new recruits question and answer session on Facebook on whatever date it's on. I'm going to add you to that. So I make sure that I am doing these things to make sure that they are as successful as they can be. Whether they're my own personal sponsored recruit or whether they're a recruit on my team at this point, those are the things I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm getting them into that welcome Q&A, and I want to make sure that they know that they can come to me. I also want to answer any of those overwhelming questions. We all know when we first joined, it is very, very overwhelming. We get emails from our sponsors, emails from our team leader, questions. We are added to pages that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands, even on some of them, consultants on them with questions and different concerns and different ideas and different books. And having someone personally check in with them can make or break their business start for them. So what I try to do is make sure that they know they can come to me at any point. They can talk to me. They can ask me any questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell them, you know what? I'm not sure the answer. I'm going to follow up. I'll go see if I can find it elsewhere. I'll ask around, and I will come back to you with an answer as soon as I can find it. So following up with those recruits on your team, whether you're a team leader and you're officially their team leader or you're just their sponsor, you want to make sure you're following up so that they don't feel like you took it in for your own gain to have them join your team. If you have them join your team and then you never talk to them again, you never discuss anything with them again, then it feels like they can kind of feel used, I think. They feel like you got them on your team, they joined, you got personal gain from it, whether it's $25, whether it's another team member, whether it's anything that they would foresee, or they would assume is the reason that they joined your team for you, and they can take that and it can turn them against you. So you want to make sure you're following up. You want to make sure you're talking to them. You want to make sure you're offering your assistance if you can. And if you don't know the answer, then you can say, hey, I don't know the answer to that, but let me refer you to my team leader. And then contact your team leader as well and say, hey, I'm sending this person, they're going to ask you a question. They are having trouble with this part of the website, and I wasn't sure how to guide them, so I told them to ask you. So that way everybody kind of knows what's going on and you're all kind of in the loop. Then if you've done that, I always follow back up with that recruit and with that person that I've sent them to make sure that the question or problem was resolved. So if my recruit comes to me with a question, or a team member comes to me with a question, I'm going to answer their question to the best of my ability, and then the next thing I'm going to do in a day or two, I don't always do it immediately because problems aren't resolved immediately, but in a day or two, maximum, I try to do it within a week, is message them back and say, hey, how is this going with the issue that you had with the website? Has it been resolved? Is there something else I can do to help you? So just that open line of communication with your recruits, with your team members, and with those that come to you with a question or a problem is amazing. And it opens up that line of communication, and it makes them feel more comfortable and makes them feel like they can be successful in this business.